Welcome to our new episode.
Today we are gonna talk about the movie Turning Red, which I just watched last night.
Good representation of what kind of culture we grew up in. I know we don't look Chinese, but we grew up in Macau.
The
and we
Cantonese
know all that.
speaking. Oh yeah.
Dude, the Cantonese chanting, and comments on the street.
Yeah, like who fire? Oh.
Or Sailor. It's like
the most influential thing that happened.
same elementary school.
Even now, when we're in America, we're aliens.
Still
I'm like, where is my wings?
Sizzle in my tongue.
Hopefully this is a platform that makes people feel safe.
I completely almost forgot.
I honestly, the chant, I didn't even understand it. Did you understand it?
It sounded like a poem, those old poems. It's like, you know what? Or like those old operas, when they have those masks and they just and they just say like Cantonese like words, and it's like, all right, it's a poem.
It just felt so good to like watch it. Yeah, and
It's
so
like so emotional too, because growing up with a very strict mom, it's like
yes,
especially when you see like the mom breaking down when the mom was like realizing that it's her fault and she's so sad. Like it made me like feel like, oh my god, it reminded me of when my mom like cries and I'm just like, shit, she's human, like, because usually they're like machines, they're just like, oh, you did something wrong, like,
they're like
oh,
strict mother, tiger mom.
yeah, for real. Like, and you're just like,
and to see them cry is definitely heartbreaking.
yeah, because they're human after all. And it's like, as kids, you always forget that, because obviously you're a child and you're just like, oh, your mom is your mom, and you're like, oh, you say no to everything, you suck, blah blah blah. But then when they cry and then you see that they get hurt too, and you're just like, all the hurtful things that I've said, and it's probably all in her heart and you didn't even know, and you're just like feeling shit.
For sure. And we're also going to invite up I guess
he's a Filipino that's born and raised in Macau.
He's experienced a lot of the same things we went through. And yeah,
let's say hello to Dan.
Hi guys. So we have Dan here for our guest on this episode. And yeah, Dan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you're from?
Still a uni student. I study photography.
Okay.
So you're communication media?
Yeah.
In UMac. Yes. Hi, I'm alumni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Ate.
I guess I just out of curiosity, like, when have you first heard about us, our podcast? How did you find out about us?
You would think that you want to be related in something, but there isn't actually a channel that you can relate to. And then I found you guys through friends, social media, and then that's how I actually managed to get to know you guys.
So as you know, we're going to be talking about Turning Red. I don't know. I really like it. Like, I enjoyed it, and as you mentioned earlier, when you like go to social media or movies, you want to see something that kind of represents you and feel related, because there's a lot of like movies that are more, I guess, Westerners and other stuff, but this was very like specifically Cantonese culture, Chinese culture, and they were speaking Cantonese, and it was like,
the
like,
chanting was in Cantonese.
In the room laughing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, the chanting.
Yeah, so no, everything. There was no Mandarin at all. I think even when she's walking on the streets and people like mumbling, and even
Cantonese.
Like when
it's all
Cantonese.
They're like, oh, fire. And I'm like,
and then at some point the grandma was like, Sailor.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh god, it felt so good to like just hear Cantonese again, because I was in a room like full of like kids from here, and as I was the only one laughing when the grandma said Sailor, I was like, oh, but it's just like, yeah.
People usually say that usually means something that's unpleasant, like they don't really like saying the word "say" because
No,
it
yeah.
presents some kind of unpleasantness.
Exactly. Remember the part where one of the aunts was like, "The number 4 is the worst." Remember when she was like, "Oh, who is
Yes.
4 town?" And then one of the aunt or
Oh
grandma
my
was like,
god,
4 is the worst.
hotels
And
in
I'm like,
Macau, they don't have number 4 because it's like the
Yeah.
China, they don't have number
and
4
people
in the
exactly, and people here don't know that, but because 4 basically it sounds like dead or die. That part of the movie, not a lot of people understand. You have to be part of the Cantonese culture for you to understand that.
Do you
Yeah.
speak
But yeah.
Cantonese then?
Yeah, I do.
Like, nice.
Cool.
You know what I really connected with? The Canto soap opera when the daughter and the mom was watching. Oh my god, it reminded me of like the Canto soap operas that me and my mom would watch, and she would make me translate it to her.
Making dinner and then they're making comments on it.
No, yeah, because it's like a intense like telenovela, like like you've
Yeah,
never
yeah.
watched a Cantonese series before, like
I have,
Awong.
but
Do you know
I've never-
Awong? Do you know that's? Oh my
I
god,
never
do you
even
know
called
series
them
Awong?
Cantonese soap opera.
Oh my gosh, that guy.
Of course I know.
Yeah.
That was the first TV series I watched.
For real, me too. No, that's the first one that I just really like laughed and cried and thought like, oh my god, Cantonese series are kind of okay. Like this is so funny.
Sa Ping Tai, there's like Patin Sing Pong.
Oh my god! I think what I
Yeah,
remember
there's
most
so
is
many.
Sapingtai.
So
Yeah.
many. Oh my god.
It was one of the top watch series at the
Yeah.
time.
The
I love
best.
Sapingtai so much.
But the one thing I always like remember is that whenever they have kissing scenes, like for Cantonese like soap operas, it's like
Wall to wall.
they're just like they look like they don't want to. It's just like so. I remember thinking that because it's like we watch both Western and Chinese like stuff, so it's like you see the difference. And it's so funny.
I thought they would close the curtain when they do the kissing scene just for the romantic touch.
For real?
I don't know if it's a thing.
They should though.
In
They
movies,
should
they do
hide
a
that
lot too.
awkwardness.
So you said your favorite part was that scene where they were watching it?
Yeah, because it was my childhood, man, like with my mom and me, like, and I think that was the most bond I had with her, just because I needed to translate for her, because it's in Cantonese and the subtitles are in Chinese too. Like, all right.
There was any like notice. They were all in Cantonese back in primary school, and we would have to translate every single word to our parents.
And it's like sometimes you're asked to translate like official documents, It's like, I'm 7. How am I supposed to translate an official document? Like dad and mom would come in and say, "Hey, can you tell me what this is?" I'm like,
Yeah, and it's like, and if I don't know, they're like, "Why am I putting you in Chinese school then?" Huh? I'm like,
Exactly.
So good.
And that hit home. That hit home.
And everybody would always tell me, like growing up, like you should be a translator when you grow up. I'm like, dude, do you know those like officialness of people's translating? Like,
There's a whole degree to it.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, I just say whatever is closest to it. Sometimes I don't even know what it means, and I just hope it's right.
I know this is off topic, but as a person who can speak multiple languages, you tend to shift minds a lot, and you get tired. You get really tired. Real talk.
For real.
Yeah.
Different personalities too.
Tell us what do you think about the movie?
The movie has done a good job of making me getting angry at the mom, because I can see from the daughter's perspective, like it was not necessary to go all the way to the store just to confront with the
God,
kid.
that part.
It was so cringy.
I felt for her. It was painful to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think I experienced something traumatic as that, but I was just like, oh God, I just felt her pain. It was painful to watch. I mean, it's her blindness of not being able to see that, her daughter can be like her daughter needs to be educated too, because in her mind, her daughter is like perfect, right? So she goes to blame the guy, and go all the way to blame the guy instead of talking to her.
The part where she became a red panda and then in front of her friends, and the reaction towards them, it was actually one of the genuine things that I've seen. Because she was afraid to be herself, but then when she did that, they all embraced her. It was really
The
sweet.
friendship was definitely wholesome. It was very wholesome to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I really enjoyed their chemistry. It was nice.
It's
It's
like
true.
a lot of
I like the
friendships I
friendship too.
had. I feel like, I was that girl that the mom usually don't approve of. And it's like, I would have the best time with this friend, and then but like, in front of the parent, it would be such a different vibe where it's just like, they would never stand up for me like with their parent if they did say
Yeah.
something like bad about me, because it's like, I mean, at first, back then I was like, the audacity. I thought she was my friend, but then at the same time, watching this film is like, I get it. It's like it's your mom versus your friends, and you were told your whole life that your family is your life. Like you're
Yeah.
supposed to like be 100% loyal to your family.
Yeah. Like it in the movie it made it look like it didn't make it look easy, but like as a 13-year-old, nobody has that courage to say like like to stand up. But like at the same time, people should learn to be like, hey, this is the line, and yeah, so parents don't be so like controlling.
I think it would have been nice for parents to actually listen their children a bit more, and then for children to actually be more confrontational. I think it's a
Yeah.
two-way learning process,
I mean, that's
Yeah.
because
everyone's
without
dream.
the learning process, yeah, I think that's
Exactly.
everyone's
But
dream.
it's
Otherwise,
not
there would be
realistic.
chaos
The
all
ending of
over
that
the
movie is
place.
not realistic. I was
I
like,
mean, the
my
whole
mom
movie's
would
not
not.
even real.
I know, like
Yes.
the approval at the end, and like the grandma, like like grandmas are just they're ruthless.
No, they're like 2-3 times the mom.
Yeah, for real.
It's true. It's true. The ending isn't so realistic, but that's also actually when the mom hugged the grandma. That's also when I kind of got teary. Like it was like, oh, it's such a dream. Like it's
Oh, yeah,
so it's
I think I was crying because of that reason. It's like, oh my god, I wish.
but it's not very realistic most of the time. Maybe
Mm.
some people have good endings, but like it's not
Yeah.
realistic most of the time.
One more part I want to point out is when the mom was like, "Who do you think you are, huh, Celine Dion?" Like, no.
Who do you think? Who are you watching? Like Celine Dion or?
Yeah, who do you think they are? Like Celine Dion,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? And it's like moms at that age is just like they love Celine Dion. I remember my mom
I
loved
listened
Celine
to
Dion.
so many Celine Dions when I'm a kid.
Yeah, she's a goddess.
I
Can't
know
do
all
no
of her
wrong.
songs.
And she can't
Yeah.
do no wrong. Yeah.
I guess I only listened to the music where she sang for Titanic. That's all I knew. And the one from Deadpool. That's it.
Oh, you see?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, she was so good in that bowl. Actually, I love that. I
Oh,
love that she went on
nice.
that.
Do you guys have a part where like you felt most related to?
I think the part where I have to go home early as soon as possible, like as soon as you finish school.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
like
to help
Oh,
the
true.
mom with stuff. You mean?
yeah, a similar issue, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Because you do have to go back home early just to, in case doesn't matter if it's traffic, you have to go home early. The kind of strict
Yeah.
parents that would get you to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every
That's
day.
definitely related. And it's like if you're just like half an hour or an hour later, then it's like,
Around it.
yeah, something like that.
I don't know. My mom never grounded me. I think I always just get hit. I get hit, then afterwards I'm fine. So yeah. As long as like I'm with my friend that she like, if I tell her I'm with, Yasmin or Sandra, like that, she's fine. Because she knows that their parents are more strict. So it's like whatever.
Also reading online, and a lot of people find this movie controversial, or like a lot of people don't like this movie. Like, what are the things that I guess you've heard of that people don't like about this movie?
Actually, that was my question. I was wondering what made the movie so controversial in the first place.
Well, I think there's different sides of it. So there's one where it's the parents perspective, where it's like, oh, this movie is teaching kids that they could just disobey their parents. Like I typed turning red on YouTube, and like some like Christians or parents like reviews be like, oh, this is just
Christians.
teaching like kids to
Obviously.
be rebellious, which I get it. Like I think like if you're a 13-year-old and you're kind of like encouraged to do stuff like that, then sure parents would be upset about it. But I think it takes the balance for like, you know, parent side and children's side to, like you said earlier, to work together kind of thing, right? And not just the parents telling you, okay, this is how you're gonna live your life, right?
At the end of the
So
day,
I think
you're
there's
gonna be
that.
an adult, you know, and you're gonna have your own decisions. So
And you're gonna be a parent soon, one day.
And then the other controversy that I read about was basically that they said the red panda represents period. So
The mom.
and yeah, no,
Damn.
they're saying like, and I think also some parts are saying like, because after the girl, what's her name, Mei got
Yeah.
her red panda, like she was, remember, in the school she was like selling merch and kind of like selling herself, and they kind of interpreted that as like selling her, like her puberty body, if that makes sense. I'm like, that's so ridiculous. Why would you think that?
the
It's
fact that
not
they
the whole
thought
point
of
of
that,
the
it
movie.
makes them the creep, honestly.
Exactly, it makes them the red, like the
That's
How
so
people,
weird.
like, even if it does represent that for you, like, you know, like, so what? Like, yeah, we girls have periods. Yeah, like if someone wants to like go sell herself, okay, fair enough. Like you interpreted that, but if that does happen, like, is it like a completely bad thing? Like girls have periods, dude. Like, okay, but honestly, they just said it because like the mom thought it was a period, and that's a funny joke. It's like, dude, and you're gonna take it
Yeah.
literally? Gosh.
it's funny. It's like funny how similar it's like, because she was red, you know.
I
as a
honestly think
panda.
like the red panda represents anger issues. You know,
I think so too. Just like emotional, kind of like learning to control your emotions, and it wasn't literal.
and
you
how
know?
keeping it in makes you explode. And legit, that's what happened. Oh my god, some people are just so ridiculous.
Sometimes people just like to like, and also like it's a very like Chinese culture approach, I think, like, you know, like this whole like ancestors and like worshiping like a certain animal.
I think for them
um
also because they live in the like temple. You know what I mean? Like they're more traditional. Like
yeah
yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And the reason why they chose red panda, from what I got, is because it was just cute.
Uh-huh.
And
right.
at the same time, the red panda's color, it's also the same color as Canada.
Yeah, that's
national
color,
because it's
red
in
and white.
Toronto. It's based in Toronto. That's true.
2002. They had to be
Okay.
specific. So
Yeah,
I
see.
think that's a reason why it's the way it is. I actually like the whole setting because it's very chill there.
Mhm.
It kind of reminded me of Kim's Convenience. I actually
Oh.
watched that prior to the movie, so there's I wonder if I'm gonna see Appa there. Yeah.
I guess it's another movie that kind of represents generational trauma, right? Like how the next generation overcomes generational trauma. But it was very soothing to watch for me, for sure.
I can agree.
Yeah.
Anyone
All right.
haven't watched, please watch. It's a pretty cool movie, and don't think it's about period.
Nothing too don't sexualize the movie, please. Thank you, Dan. I think we're gonna end here.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
But yeah,
thank you
super
so
grateful.
much.
Thank you for being on here.
Thank you for being a fan.
I'm glad you felt comfortable. Yes.
Thank you.
Good luck with uni and all your courses and photography as well.
Thank you.
We want to see graduation.
All right. Nice to meet you, Dan.
Okay.
Soon. Bye-bye.